My name is Hervin, and this is day number 45 of the Daily Journal video series, where every day I come on and I document here our journey as we try and scale our company. And I also share anything cool that I find along the way. So let's dive right into it. It is 11:50 p.m., about to be midnight, Monday night, about to be Tuesday. I thought I was going to record this earlier, but I so I've been doing support for the past 3 and something hours. I started at around 8 p.m. doing support, and it's gone all the way to like 11:30 or something like that. So I spent about 3 hours and almost 3.5 hours just doing support and taking notes. I want to make sure that I can share the notes from for, my notes about support with my team members so that we can get on the same page when it comes to support. So I've been doing that. The problem in our company when it comes to support, it's a pretty gnarly problem. And I mean gnarly in the sense of unruly. It's a big problem that is difficult to tame. And so trying to figure that out, it's going to be a new challenge for us. Next week, we have new employees that are going to be starting with us. I am super excited about that and looking forward to getting help and trying to figure out how we are going to solve this problem. We're going to encounter new problems. So as we bring more people on board, just learning how to communicate as a team, learning to getting everybody to come on board and learn everything that they need to learn, making sure that we catch them up, get them up to speed as soon as possible, and just utilize all of their talents. So that's going to be a learning curve. And it's one that, I definitely want to, I'm seeing this as a challenge, but it's also intimidating. Like, for new employees, we want to make sure they're all really smart people. Are they going to love the company? Are they going to love working with us? Are they going to want to follow our vision and see and just follow what we're doing? And anyway, I mean, yeah, even though I am super excited to work with them, at the same time, part of me, it's like feeling insecure. I've never led such a big team in my life ever. And so part of me is like, am I capable of doing this? Can I lead this team? And so anyway, I know, though, internally, deep down inside, I feel like these are the right people that we need, that these are the right team members that we need in order to take our company and scale our company and really grow fast. But that's just, yeah, it's going to be a learning curve for me to learn, for us, for Juan and I both, to learn how to lead this team that we are bringing on board, and for us, all of us together, to learn how to work as a company, to work as a team, and for the communications to flow between team members and so on. And so that's going to be a challenge and something that we're going to need to learn as a company. So that's that. Something that I've been journaling. So I take every day, I journal. I try to journal. My favorite is when I can journal here in my iPad using the Apple Pen. Something that I have been thinking about today is, and I mentioned this yesterday, which is, or yesterday or 2 days ago, I can't remember, but I talked about the role that fun plays inside business and just in general, just because I'm normally a person that I feel like I can go long. I feel like a superpower that I have is just being able to like really sacrifice a lot. And sacrificing fun is one of those things that where I'm like, well, I guess this is just what I need to do in order to be successful. I just need to sacrifice everything, including fun. And so at times it just really gets daunting. And for me, I've been thinking about this, like, what does it actually take to make something work? And this could be a business, this could be content creation, this could be really anything. Like, how do you make something work? And one of the things that I've been thinking about, and this is just give you here a warning, this is complete philosophizing here on my part. So if you don't agree with a lot of these things, it's okay. These are just kind of thoughts that I've been having and just putting them down. And so anyway, here's what I thought of, how to find something that works. So I asked myself that question. It's like, how do I find something that works, or how do I make something work? The answer is you got to try a lot of different things. And so, like, the what that makes me think of is I've seen on YouTube these videos of AI learning how to do something. So it could be a little AI robot learning how to walk across a virtual world from one side to the other, literally just walking across and like walking through a door or something. And the AI, in order to do this, needs to try like a million different things. And you can see in this video, like the AI goes through a million different tries. It's just kind of iterating its approach until it finds something that works. And then it just keeps trying, keeps doubling down on that thing until eventually it gets actually something that where it just works. And so in order to get something, to find something that works or to create something that works, you got to try many, many different things. You got to put in a lot of iterations. And I asked myself, okay, what does it take to create a lot of different iterations? And one of the things that I came up with is that, I mean, it's obvious, right? It takes a lot of time. If you want to put out, if you want to put a lot of, if you want to try different things and a lot of different things, it takes a while. It takes a long time for the AI and robot to learn how to cross, to learn how to walk across a hallway from point A to point B. It took like millions of tries. So for us, for somebody who's trying to make something works, and the light bulb was like it took, and I wish I wouldn't have picked this analogy here out of the top of my head, but Thomas Edison, when he created the light bulb, it was like 2,000 light bulbs before something started to work, and before it worked, right? So 2,000 iterations, and if Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb, forgive me. And so it took 2,000 iterations to get the light bulb right? And so that is something where that just takes a really long while. Now, how do you go through putting the work, putting the time, sticking to something, trying to create a light bulb 2,000 times and not have the results that you're after? Like, how do you stick to how do you keep trying to do something when you're not seeing the success that you want? And the answer that I came up with, so let me back up a second. In order to find something that works, you need many iterations. To try many different things, to put in the work to create different iterations, it takes time. And it takes a long time. So how do you keep working on something for a really long time if it's not succeeding like you want it? And the answer is because you enjoy the process. At least that's the answer that I thought of. So I was like, a couple of days ago, I'm asking like, what is the role of fun, of enjoyment in business? And to me, it's, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're not going to last a really long time doing it, and you need to last a long time in order to come up with something that works, in order to come up with something great. You need to last a really long time. So and you're not going to be able to last a really long time unless you are actually enjoying what you're doing. And so that's what, to me, the role that fun plays in business, or just in general. It's like, is there to keep you going, so that you can keep creating these iterations until you find something that works. And then I also ask myself, like, okay, so the process is to find something that, to enjoy the process. How can you enjoy the process? Like, how do you enjoy the process? And part of it is you have to feel like what you're doing has to feel like play to you. This is something that Naval Ravikant talks about. It's like, you want to find the thing that feels like play to you but work to others, where it's something that is considered work by other people, but to you it feels like play. And the reason for that is because if it feels like play, you're going to enjoy it, you're going to have fun, and you're going to keep doing it, and you're going to last a really long time that it requires for you to put in all the iterations, so that then you can do good work. You see what I'm saying? So like, This is the logic that I'm finding is you got to find work that feels like play to you. And then how do you do that? How do you find something that feels like play to you? Well, part of it is like you gotta see, you gotta follow your intuition. And this is what I wrote there is like, you gotta follow whatever your curiosity, your interest, whatever motivates you, whatever gets you excited, whatever brings you more energy. You got to follow your intuition. And that to me is so that's kind of, and I don't have an exact framework on this, but that to me is seems like the way success works. You know, if I think about, for example, Joe Rogan, I can't remember how many years it took him before he actually started making money from his podcast, but he stuck to it. He created, it was almost like I think it was like 7 to 11 years before he actually made any money from his podcast. And so if you think about the amount of iterations and things that he tried and guests that he spoke to, and he just kept doing it for a really long time, for 7 to 11 years. And the reason why he was able to stick to that for such a long time is because he enjoyed the process and he enjoyed it. He was following his intuition. He was speaking to guest people that he liked, that brought him in, that gave him energy. And because of that, like the fact that he enjoyed it and he kept, because he enjoyed it, he was able to stick to it for a really long time is the reason why, you know, he eventually found something that worked. And the thing that worked might have been doing 1 million episodes, you know. So at some point, it wasn't that just something just clicked and he blew up. It might have just been that, you know, he had done it for a really long time. So little by little, through improving himself as an interviewer, as a host, picking better guests, he was able to, you know, eventually through years mold his thing into something that was good. And so ultimately, you know, that I think that's what the role of fun and enjoying and enjoying what you're doing comes into play. Is it's the fact that it's going to allow you to keep doing what you're doing for a really long time. But ultimately, to find something that works is a matter of iterations. And so for me, I've been thinking about that. It's like, how do I take that same concept of iterating? So when it comes to marketing, for example, because that's the world that I come from, marketing, the best tests, for example, are the ones where you're testing 2 different landing pages. One is a landing page that has a video and no text, and the other test that you're doing is just straight up text, and you're using that to figure out what works best, what converts best, you know, as opposed to both having video, both having text, and then the only thing that changes is like the third paragraph or something. That, you know, that is kind of hard to tell which one works better. Whereas like when you have one that's completely different from the other, one of them you'll find that one of them performs a lot better than the other, and then you can just double down on what works. So similarly to that analogy, where, you know, for me, all of the videos, the content that I've been creating looks very similar and feels very similar. Even with this daily journal video series, they're kind of the same. And so I've been thinking about, you know, when it comes to creating content, maybe I should stop doing these daily journal video series and instead create a video every day of a topic and just test out different things to find something that works, as opposed to just keep making the same thing over and over if it's not getting results, right? And so, yeah, so I've been thinking about that. So perhaps, you know, I don't know if right now, but yeah, maybe in a couple of days, I'll switch things up and see if I start creating something else. But because ultimately what I need to do is make sure that I create a lot of different iterations so that I can find something that works. And yeah, that's what it is. And I still enjoy these videos regardless of whether I'm making the daily journal video series or I'm doing something else. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for me. That's all I have today. Thank you all so much for listening. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.